All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to my sports channel, TMossBoss Talk Sports. But we ain't gonna really be talking sports. I probably will do it a video talking on what I was doing when watching the Super Bowl. Cause man, I should have put on because I was like I did get a Seahawks jersey and stuff. I should have put. I'll do it for the video. I'll do it for the video talking on the Super Bowl and then going to the Super Bowl parade and stuff. So, but no, anyways, I wanted to talk on this. I think this is off of his Truth Social website, platform, wherever you want to call it things. But Trump, he goes on to say the Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible. One of the worst ever. It makes no sense. It is an affront to the greatness of America and doesn't represent our standards of success. First off, if there was a toss up, to have Bad Bunny's life or Donald Trump's life, fam, it looks like I'm gonna be a Puerto Rican singer, do a halftime performances at the Super Bowl because I don't think you should be the last one talking about standards of success. I'm like, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, fam, you can't be somebody that's in the Epstein files and then also be successful at the same time. Yeah, there might be like a certain line of your success, but you can't compare your success to Bad Bunny's success. I'm sorry, but no. But anyways, you even can ask a Trump supporter what lifestyle would you rather have, Bad Bunny's lifestyle or Donald Trump's lifestyle, and even a Trump supporter would say Bad Bunny. All right, so the funny thing is if they say, oh, I'd rather have Trump, he's a law-abiding American, he's this and he's that and all this other, I'm like, yeah, strap you to a lie detector test and see if you'll have that same answer and see what they were like. Well, I think maybe I'll go with Bad Bunny. He's a little bit more younger. Then they'll just say some dumb stuff, and it's like, okay, we just all needed to hear that universal answer. But anyways, but there's like he goes on to say it doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, or excellence. I'm like, fam, you go and make multiple albums that's winning awards and all this. Yeah, that's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, that's what. Okay, so you know what? How about this? Next year for the halftime performance show, let's see Trump do a halftime performance. I'm like, no, I'm like, could be the most American performance of all time. Let's see him do a halftime. He can't get nobody else in singing or rapping, whatever he wants to do. But yeah, let's see him sing. Let's see him come up with some music. Because if not, it's like, fam, you can't be talking about this man's career like that. And I know there are gonna be some Trump supporters. They go try to talk on Bad Bunny's career, and I'm like, okay, let's see you put out some successful music, more successful than Bad Bunny's music. All right. But anyways, then he goes on to say nobody understands a word this guy is saying. Don't need to. I'm like, fam, it's one of those things where I did watch his Bad Bunny's halftime performance show. I understand one word this man was saying, but when it comes down to music, the funny thing is, I'm like, that's just music. Music, it's like a lot of times, yeah, we're gonna be listening to music where the main language is English, But fam, I didn't listen to EDM music. I didn't listen to music from people in Iceland. I'm trying to think of some other, yeah. And then it's like, what else? Like that old classical type music and stuff. Like, yeah, music. The thing is this. Music is music. It ain't supposed to, be like I guess like as long as there are people out there that do understand it, that's all that matters. But what I mean, like that's the thing too, where I'm like, what's stopping us from going to the website genius.com and seeing the translation of his lyrics? Because there was the one song that Ski Master Slump God and dang, I can't think of that guy's name, but they did. There's a song that I think, not Keith Ape. It wasn't Keith Ape, but they did this song called "I Chew," I think. And no, there was like the one that I gotta look that up before I go any further and stuff because I'm like that's going to disturb me not knowing that guy's name. But hold on for a second. Oh, it was Keith Ape. Okay, no, so yeah, it was Keith Ape. But yeah, Keith Ape, he wrote he did his whole song or his verse, he did it in his native language. So that's why I'm like, fam, and so I didn't understand what he was saying. I looked it up. That's why we have the internet. Like it trips me out how racist a person can be. And it's like, no, say what you want to say. You're on like, oh, I don't understand what he's saying. I'm like, but what do you mean by that? Well, it's like, no, say what you want to say. Cause I know he I guarantee and I promise you, if racism was legal, we definitely would have seen a different side of Trump a long time ago. But anyways, and then he goes on to say, and the dancing is disgusting. I guess maybe if it had been some teenage girls up there, then Trump probably would have, he would have had something a little bit more positive to say about the dancing. But when it's, Puerto Rican women in their what 20s, 30s, possibly up there dancing, oh, that's too old for him. I'm it's like I'm not hearing that. But then he goes on to say the dance is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching from throughout the USA and all over the world. This show is just a slap in the face to our country, which is setting new standards and records every day, including the best stock market and 401ks in history. My thing is this, who was thinking of the stock market and the 401ks when the Super Bowl was going on? Like, that's one thing where I'm like, I don't even think the stock market or 401ks crossed my mind once when watching the Super Bowl. So yeah, that's what I'm like, what are you talking about now? So anyways, but then he goes on to say there is nothing inspirational about this mess of a halftime show, and watch, it will get great reviews from the fake news media because they haven't got a clue of what is going on in the real world. And by the way, the NFL should immediately replace its ridiculous new kickoff rule. Make America great again, President Donald J. Trump. Yeah, and you know what's funny? So Trump, he tried to have his own little halftime performance show, like Turning Point USA or something like that. And you would think like, okay, he must have had like, this is the president. Oh, he's gonna have the greatest of the greatest artists performing for his halftime show. He had Kid Rock performing. Kid Rock. Kid Rock. Like, it's, man, here's the thing. I think that with Trump, what he should do is just focus on politics, like Super Bowls, basketball, all that stuff, like, things that American people care about. He needs to just leave it alone. But it's just his opinion on stuff. He ain't saying what he really feels, and that's the thing. A lot of his fans, they gonna try to defend what he says and make it seem like that. I'm like, fam, you're not in this guy's mind, so you can't defend what he's saying when he ain't even coming out and wanting to say what he really wants to say. He needs a publicist or a professional writer to come out and write out something for him, like this tweet or whatever. But yeah, he most likely was saying some racist things in the comfort. I guarantee and I promise you, if there was cameras, microphones, if there was something to record Trump during the halftime performance show, where it's we most likely would have heard some racist things from Trump. So that's why I'm like, yeah. But overall, I guess for somebody that didn't watch because I know there's some people out there that don't really particularly, it ain't got nothing to do with Bad Bunny. There's just people out there that just don't care for the halftime show. They're all like, I just came here for football. His show was good. If you haven't, take the time to just watch it on YouTube, But, and yeah, if there's songs out there that you don't understand, then yeah, it's like that. There's this website called genius.com where they for the most part, I believe, explain or translate artists' music if it's being said in a different language and stuff. Because I think they did the same thing for you, that like the song I said with Keith Ape, where he was saying his verse on that Chew song in his native language. But there was nothing wrong with Bad Bunny's halftime show. That's why I'm like, people have been sharing clips of it. There's like, yeah, like right after the Super Bowl. Oh my man, the funny thing is, it's like you would have thought people tuned in for the Super Bowl, and no, but you know what? I'm lying when I say that people were tuning in for the Super Bowl just to see Bad Bunny. They didn't know about the teams. I ain't getting no congratulations. I ain't getting nothing when the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. I think a lot of the people that I knew, they were watching the Super Bowl for Bad Bunny and stuff. But he's a great performer. Like, no, that's so. For those that don't know, he had a wrestling match, I think it was a couple of years ago, against Damian Priest. That's why I'm a Bad Bunny fan, because I was like, he proved himself as a wrestler, and that's the thing, he's not a wrestler, like, but I'm like, no, he's somebody where I'm like, in my eyes, he's a professional wrestler. I'm like, the way that man was wrestling, I don't think nobody can have a better performance as him when it comes down to wrestling and stuff. So, but anyways, but yeah, he's a great performer. He's somebody where I'm like, I haven't heard nothing bad. I guess like if we're comparing him to Trump, yeah, Bad Bunny is. It's funny how he's named Bad Bunny, but he's a saint compared to somebody like Trump. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace.